Hey everyone, how are you? My name is Vanessa. I could adorn you, and you're on my page if you're viewing this, and I want to talk about why people sometimes overlook the authentic, integrity having coach, and they go towards the glitz and glam sham, the biz sham. And this happens so much. There are so many wonderful coaches that I know have been teaching for 15 years, 20 years, right? Who are doing well. They're still self-sustaining. But I've noticed, especially lately, hey Patricia, hi Jacqueline. And so what I've noticed lately is that a lot of people are complaining to me, Vanessa, I paid $20,000 to work with this coach, and I didn't even get any structure, any outlines, or a real structure to help me build my business. Vanessa, I spent $40,000, I spent $50,000, excuse me, and now I might be going into bankruptcy, or this is what might be happening to me. I decided to do this video, and it's going to be short, because people need to know that there's so many scams online. You know, I started reading people when I was 16 years old. That's 30 years ago, when this shit was not cool. And so I wasn't that out there the way we are now. You know, my altars, when I did priestess training and shamanic training that I've done for almost 2 decades, I didn't take pictures of them because that's not the way it was. And now we do that all the time, including me, right? We share our altars, and it's beautiful. Spirituality has become much more visible. But along the line of people becoming more interested in wellness and spirituality, it's also been commoditized. It's also been created into a business. I've literally heard people who are regular coaches say to me, oh, you have it easy. You do psychic work, so people get on the call and you just tell them bullshit. And then next thing I know, they're reading people every night from their home on the Insta stories, and they're trying to make a go of it as an intuitive because they think it's easier. I've literally seen intuitives and healers say, ugh, my business isn't working. I'm not able to make money. I'm going to go be a business coach. And then they turn around and teach people how to build a business when they don't have a successful one. And so these are things that we have to really wake up to, because guess what? This is going to get worse. It is. So I'm telling you as an intuitive, I'm telling you as somebody who's had a self-supporting full-time business online for 7 years, this bullshit is about to go and get worse. And so people who are being sold this idea of having a business online, and it's going to be easy, and you're going to work hard, and it's going to happen, please do not fall for the scams. Now, I invested about $14,000, I think, in a mastermind. I got so much out of it. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Liz. Right? I intuited that this person was for me, and I got it. I didn't sign up to this mastermind out of desperation. I didn't sign up to this mastermind because I needed to make money and I thought this person was my end ticket. I signed up from a place where I asked the universe to deliver me the real deal person, and I got it. Hi, Jason. How are you? But what I'm seeing more and more is people who do not have successful businesses saying that they're successful while they take pictures in front of their mother's house in a faraway country, or they take pictures in Bali, which, by the way, the ticket might cost money, but once you're there, it's super cheap. Or they take pictures of themselves in Thailand, which also, maybe the ticket costs money, but once you're there, everything's super cheap, way cheaper than New York City, my people. And I know some of you are from New York, and you know what I'm talking about. And so we're idolizing as a collective these people that seem to have it all, that they're traveling here, they're traveling there, and maybe it's on their husband's money. And that's fabulous. Good for them. Or maybe it's on their family's dime. I have no qualms with that. I have no issue with that. Everybody should travel. Everybody should explore their lives. But if they're bullshitting the audience, if they're selling this idea or creating this image that they are traveling all over the world because of their business, and it's really because of their husband or their family money or their business money that comes from real estate or something else, then this is not authenticity. This is not real. And so how do we avoid getting taken? How do we avoid getting taken? We avoid getting taken Hi, Gina. You would like this topic. You would like this topic. And so I'm talking about how people are selling themselves to be these incredible business coaches and taking thousands and thousands of dollars, even having people almost fall into, right, bankruptcy or financial loss and not delivering the goods. They're not actually helping people sell and show up in their business and really be able to do it. Now, why are we doing this? I can share with you. So I'm somebody who has a self-sustaining business for 7 years. I don't go around telling you that I'm making millions, because guess what? I don't. I've hit 6 figures my first year online. I know people who have a business now for 6 years and they've never hit six figures. I know people who have businesses now for 7, 8 years. They've never hit it. I hit it my first year, right? But yet I wasn't living in lap of luxury because I lived in New York. In 6 figures, at least 100K in New York, after taxes, 70 grand, right? And then everything that you put out to build your business and all your trainings. Hi. But I have shared with people that I help people build their businesses. Not only am I a healer, I help clear them, get to the heart of things so they can live a better life. They can release ancestral patterns, release past lives, and even present day trauma so they can live their best lives. That may include having their own business. I have literally told people that people have literally seen me support myself day in and day out for 7 years and will still turn around and hand over 20K to someone who hasn't had a roof over their head in 5 years, who really isn't a one-on-one coach, who has no structure. And so what I'm talking about is that often a lot of us claim that we want authenticity in our lives. A lot of us claim that we want integrity, but then when there's glitz and glam, we go for it. So here you are, you want to build a business, right? And you're not making any money off your business. And you see the person who's making 100K, maybe making 80K, maybe making 120. And you don't value them, but yet they've been sustaining their business for years. But then you see someone in a flashy dress. You see somebody who is traveling to Thailand. Like I said, cheap to live there once you get there. You see someone living in Bali. Again, cheap to live there once you get there. And oh my God, I'm going to throw my 20,000. We're pulling out money for our 401ks, and we're giving people because we are not valuing ourselves. We're not valuing the sister or the brother who've had sustainable businesses for years because they're down to earth. We're saying that we want authenticity, and then we're not investing in it. Right? And so, right, but Margie, what I'm sharing is I'm getting people writing me right now and complaining to me that they've invested 20,000, 30,000, 15,000 in other people. But I'm here, Margie. I have actually completely supported myself, paid all my trainings with my business. Here I am. But I'm not running around saying that I'm making 80,000, 800,000 because I'm not. I'm not running around saying that I'm making 300,000 because I'm not. And while I may have a really great month, right? We can have a really great month. It doesn't mean every month is great. And so there's this delusion that in order to be successful online, that it has to be 20,000, that it has to be 30,000. We're not appreciating the people who are actually sustaining their business on their own. And so what's happening is, thank you, my love. So what's happening is there are all these people popping up online. And I wanted to do this video today because it's Moon and Leo, right? Moon and Leo steps into the light. Here I am outside. Moon and Leo says to each and every one of you, speak your truth from your heart. And so I wanted to speak my truth because I keep hearing this over and over again of all this theft, all this bullshit. There are people that I know who are calling themselves master healers. And you know what? They just took a training 2 years ago. Girlfriend, it takes a little longer to be a master healer. Okay? All respect and love to you. And so we're really dealing with a lot of false prophets online. I happen to know so many amazing, talented people. And I interview them often for my programs, for Intuitive Leverage, my 8-week intuition bootcamp. I'm bringing on really authentic healers for my retreats next year. But just beware. Right, they took the training last week, and this is what's happening. Just because somebody's telling you that they have some sort of special school, don't believe the hype. Everybody can write in a website that they have a school. Everybody can tell you that they've sold programs. Now, I just want to share something. People are always saying that they're teaching online and they never were able to sell a course. And how do I know? Because they've asked me to read them, and also I am psychic, right? So I know people who write on their website that they've sold courses. They've never sold a damn course. I've taught intuition boot camp now 11 times online. I taught a Spanish program for free because I wanted to help out. There were a lot of people in Venezuela who couldn't afford me, to 340 people for free. I wanted to teach a 9-day course to help them deal what was happening in their country. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you've got to look at the people who are actually really selling the programs. I know other people who are saying that they're coaches of this type or that type, but they're making their living off other things. Now, ain't nothing wrong with making a living. I really encourage people to get a day job if their business isn't doing well. Because if you're making or creating a business with desperation in your heart, you're not really going to attract people. You're not going to be successful. But please be mindful. I know coaches and people who've told me that they hate one-on-ones. That they absolutely hate one-on-ones. And then I see on their bio or on their website or on social media that they've done tons of one-on-ones when they were on the phone with me last week telling me how much they don't do it and they hate it. Whew. So there's lies on how much people are making. There's lies on how much they're selling that they can do for you. There's lies going on about their lifestyle. So what I'm asking you, especially today, on this beautiful, beautiful, moon in Leo, which is asking each and every one of us to speak our truth from our heart, to pay attention to your intuition, to value your worth. If you value your worth, you're not going to get cajoled. You're not going to have your arm twisted. I just want to share with you that years ago, I heard somebody talking about money that I really liked 7 years ago. And I wrote her and I wanted to have a talk. She had a $25,000 program. And she was really intense and very much like, I'm going to help you make the money. We're going to organize the money. And I was making money, but I was like, well, I want to make sure that I'm sustainable, right? Well, it was 2 weeks before a major surgery. I got on the phone with a well-known money coach. This woman, I said to her, I loved what you said during the mastermind that I was on. I loved what you talked about money. I want to work with you someday. But right now I got laid off today. And I'm going into major surgery. And do you know what this woman said? Obviously, she said, your business is not important to you. Your calling is not important to you. Had I been weaker, had I not known myself, had I not valued myself, I would have probably signed up. She was trying to convince me that if I didn't sign up for her $25,000 program, that my business would die. Well, guess what? Not only did I get laid off and I was sick, etc., the next year I brought in $100,000. Yes, indeed. I also had a client who told me she couldn't afford me, right, working with me for 4 months, and then went to an event where a coach cajoled her into signing a contract that she later called me crying about. This was 5 years ago. Crying, please, Vanessa, help me get out of this. Please, Vanessa. But I'm like, honey, you told me you didn't have the money to work with me. Somebody was a proven business, right? Somebody was a proven business. And then you go and sign with this woman who does not have a proven business. And now you're begging me to help you get out. Well, I wrote a letter to help her because I knew her. And we got her out of that program. Now, so many people admire this person. And again, what I want to say is, I know people, colleagues, people I've spent time with, who told me they hated one-on-ones, and then they go and they lie online that they do them all the time. Well, they talk to me as friends or colleagues, and they'd be like, Vanessa, you do 5-6 sessions a day. I can't even do one. And so there's something here, and I understand people are exaggerating things because they want to succeed. But the thing is, it's going to come back to you. It really is. If you've been bullshitting on any level of your business, if you've overlooked authenticity in any level of your business, if you have not owned your worth in any level of your business, and the chances are high, because I've done it, it's happened to me, you're going to be taken for a ride. Now, I had a friend who was really supported by our whole community, right? Hi, Gio, love you. And who quoted me a price for a speaking engagement in New York City. And 2 weeks before then, she said, oh no, honey, I must have had mommy brain It's actually double. So I owed the person $1,200. Now, I sent it. I didn't argue because I didn't have a contract. After that, I learned. But guess what? When I walked into that space, that room was not worth $2,400 for a speaking sponsorship. There were 40 people in the damn room, and I already knew them. And so that's something that I learned, I think it was like 4 years ago. I learned that I needed a contract. I learned that I needed to check in. You know, I talked to my guides and I'm like, how did this happen to me? I have really, really great insight. I have powerful psychic ability. I see shit and hear people from the other side. And guess what? My guides were like, well, Vanessa, you didn't have a conversation with us. You trusted your sister. And so, hey Jen, how are you? Hey Monica. And so what I'm asking all of you is to sit down and truly own your worth and really observe what's going on. Because so many people are telling you how they made 60K in 1 month, but the truth is maybe 4 years before they weren't making any money. And is it sustainable? And did they actually deliver to those people? And so, as I was sharing when I opened up, I've actually supported myself full-time since I started my business online full-time. And for those of you who have a part-time business, I just wanted to share that my part-time business brought in about $45,000 when I was working full-time. So I was working full-time in a corporate setting, and then I had a part-time 40-grand business already with an intern, already with an assistant, and a web designer. Have I made multiple six figures? No, I haven't. Have I tried? No, I haven't. Do I live a comfortable, good life where I get to travel, get a facial, get a manicure, do all those things that I pay for, not my husband, not my mother, not my family? Yes. Do I have people that work with me super part-time? Yes. And so we need to look at that. So many of us have learned via experience. Thank you for talking about this. I didn't know my own worth and just trusted the person I hired. But it's more than that, right? Yeah, I didn't really take time to listen to my psychic ability. And so I said yes to a sister because, hey, we're all in New York. We're all struggling. We're all doing our thing. But the truth was this person was hustling because they were like, well, I got to support myself and my family, my life. And they weren't thinking of anyone else. And so you're going to pay attention. Is the person hustling? Does the person have a hustle energy? Are they trying to get you to sign something super fast? Ask the questions. How are you going to guide me? If somebody's asking you for $20,000 to help you build their business, or more, or $15,000, what does the process look like? Am I getting handout sheets? Is there structure? Or are you going to get on the phone call and just yap about yourself? So I've gotten complaints from people about other people in our community in New York, an online community, that they didn't get any structure with the programs that they signed up for. That the person got on the phone and basically yapped about, you know, you got to love yourself and you're going to do it and you're going to do it. If someone is building a business online and supporting themselves fully from their business, they're going to know that every year everything changes. When I went online in my 7 years ago in 2013, the first day I posted anything, I got 300 people signing up for a class, a free class. Now people don't see it, but I have more followers than ever. In 2017, I started speaking Spanish on videos. Vanessa Codorniu en Español, it's called. I got 44,000 followers in a year and a half. Tons more than I have in English. But guess what? Then Facebook changed it. So people can't see me now when I go online. And so when you have a biz coach who hasn't been really online long, what winds up happening is they give you advice from like years ago. I was on a webinar earlier today where somebody was talking manifestation, and I was laughing. I'm like, my muchacha, this is the shit that was being shared 20 years ago, right? But everybody who is new, and there's so many new, are going to listen to that and be like, oh my God, this is mind-blowing. But I've already walked that path. I've already seen that sort of worked, but there were many levels to manifestation. Manifestation is not just about attracting with our thoughts. We also have karma, in my belief. We also have missions to complete and stories. Otherwise, we would all be walking around thinking, I'm getting $1 million, and we'd all have it if it was that easy, right? So glad you're talking about this. Yes, nope. Yay, yay, thank you. Speaking truth. Thank you for talking about this. Hey, Monica. And so what I'm really asking for, I'm asking for all of us to start telling even more truth. Because people think that they're telling truth, but then they're lying and saying that they've been healers for 30 years. And they haven't, right? Not everybody's been getting paid to do healing work. Yes, maybe we're doing healing work on our families. Maybe we're doing healing work on our friends. But let us own our truth. We're not going to look bad if we tell our truth. I'm not telling people that I'm making $400,000 because I'm not. I'm not telling people that I make $300,000 because I'm not. And really, actually, my business income has gone down as I left New York City, right? I think because of all of the changes online. But guess what? My happiness quotient has gone up. I am healthier than ever. I live in a place where there's nature, close enough to the city. I have love in my life. I have 2 amazing pets. And I have a hobby that I spend, I think, about 8 hours a week in. What entrepreneur with a life and a family can spend, when you're an adult, about 8 hours a week on your hobby? And so I think I'm almost coming to the end of my chat. But I'm sharing this because it's so important. So before you go signing off on the dotted line for 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80,000, take a moment, check in with yourself. Are you signing that because this person is creating images and photography and on their website that is a story or an archetype you're vibrating to? And if it is, how can you connect with your own intuition, your own guidance, your own healing, so you can awaken that archetype? Because you're vibrating to the archetype that is outside of you. We do this all the time. You know, I've seen priestesses when I was young, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be a healer like that. We do that all the time, and images are used to evoke sensation, right? And emotions. That's why advertising and media and social media is key. But really allow yourself to drop into your deepest knowing and ask yourself. Because as I said, I've invested $14,000 or $15,000 in one mastermind. I got so much out of it. I would never say that I was taken for a ride. I would never say that I didn't get incredible connections and that my business really grew from it. And I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on trainings, people. I'm doing right now animism and ancestral healing training. I'm also doing astrology for business training. I'm taking all these different courses. And I've spent thousands on my trainings for years, since I was 20 years old, which is 28 years, right? And I'm actually going to start doing training hypnotherapists, right? But I'll tell you, I don't owe money. I'm not in the hole. I still do owe some college money that I'm still paying off really slowly, right? But I'm not in debt with my credit cards. I'm not in debt because I paid for all these investments. So if you talk to a coach who starts giving you attitude, oh, you don't love yourself, or isn't it time for you to invest? If you invest big, you'll get big. I mean, I've heard this bullshit. You've got to really drop into your own inner knowing, find the authentic teacher, ask the teacher the process. How will you learn? How will you grow your business? And then say yes, because you've tapped into your own self-worth. You've tapped into your own knowing. You've tapped into your deep intuition. And also talk to your community. Talk to your community. Because if we don't talk about this, we won't know the names of the people that are taking people for a ride. Synchronicity with you now. Thank you for your journey. Thank you, Jackie. And so much love. And I'll tell you, like, somebody was talking to me about they've been taken for $20,000. But I'm like, girl, I was right there. And I actually had a sustainable business the last 7 years. And you didn't hire me, who was way cheaper than $20K. But then you turned around and hired somebody who didn't have any structure. Right? But why? Because I wasn't glitzing and glamming about. And I wasn't trying to share that I'm so rich now and I made all this money and I'm fabulous. And look, I'm not saying that we shouldn't celebrate people's abundance. I'm all for that. I fell to my knees my first year online when I made $18,000 in like 2 days, right? Like I fell to my knees because I was pretty poor at that moment. And so it helped my business grow. Hey, Patrick. And so what I'm saying is, please, so I'm going to close off now, just take a moment, drop into your own intuitive knowing. Don't allow yourself to be taken for a ride, because your dreams, your talents are really important. And I don't want you to feel bitter. I don't want you to lose hope that your talent and your skills aren't needed in the world. But when your talent and your desire to create a business, to show up in the world, is being used and manipulated against you, this is not fair. It's not something that should continue to happen in the online world or anywhere. And you need to trust yourself. And if someone is trying to get you to sign a contract because it's happening now, you got to do it now, you got to do it now. Wait a minute. The sun will set, the sun will still rise tomorrow. The contract will still exist. Take your time. Talk to your people. Talk to your friends that you trust. Reach out to others. See if people are BSing. See if anyone's written negative reviews about them. And then move forward in signing on the dotted line. You don't deserve to go bankrupt. You don't deserve to lose hope in your dreams. You don't deserve to have your beautiful, soulful heart be dragged through the mud, and your psyche, right, and your mental health to be abused because somebody's greedy and wants to be traipsing around the world on your thousands that you had to borrow. So sending you so much love. Thank you for listening. I hope that this reached people. I just wanted to get this out. I should be really talking about my Intuition Bootcamp program and my 2 retreats that are coming up next year instead of this Facebook Live, but I felt like this truth was needed. And there's just way too many people suffering in this community. We don't have an ethical board that's watching out over abuses yet in the coaching community. And so people are getting away with a lot of things. Don't let them do it on your time. That's why I'm speaking today, because I really feel like we have to protect each other. Coaching can help you. Healing work can help you. And being guided to build a business by somebody who's already established one can help you. But check in and don't let yourself be hurt and abused. Sending you so much love. Thank you all for listening. Really, truly appreciate you. Thanks, loves. And thank you for, posting and supporting this talk. So much love.